Sit down and be quiet.
No. That's a no.
We're back.
We are going to be consistent.
We are consistent. Working out. We took a little hiatus.
We've had a couple hiatuses.
Got a lot of
We're
stuff.
gonna fix that though.
Got a lot of stuff going on, man. I mean, busy.
Mm-hmm.
Episode
35.
35.
Mm-hmm.
We think. I'm pretty sure I remember 34 last.
I think it's 35.
Evan, comment on it because I know you're going to watch it and you'll be happy that it's back and let us know if we're correct.
I think so. He'll know. He's got a lot of like facts in his brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we're working out, like he knows every word to every song.
Yeah. He knows a lot about Hawaii.
Yeah, he does.
He
lived there? He lived there, right?
Yeah, for a bit.
Yeah.
And he gave me a bunch of books that I'm going through because I want to try to plan a vacation probably in the next couple of years or so. I want it to be a big, like, I really want to go to Hawaii.
Is Hawaii like the place you really want to go to most? Like,
There's two.
Besides Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, I know about that.
And Hawaii.
Okay, see, like the Costa Rica thing, Hawaii looks awesome, but I think I'd rather go to like Maui or Oahu as opposed to like the Big Island.
Well, I know. I know. I'm just saying, like, I want to explore and see.
Go that way?
Yeah, see what we want to do. The biggest thing, the allure to me, is one thing:
surfing.
Tropics.
Well, yeah, that's the allure. Like everywhere is hot.
Heat.
Where do you want to go that's not the tropics?
Alaska.
You know, Clay lived there.
Yeah.
Like playing baseball.
Yeah,
he lived there. He has got some crazy
Yeah.
stories. That's like dangerous.
I really want to do like an Alaskan trip.
That's a long ass flight.
Yeah, I know.
You should. I mean, but not that he's been there in like.
Those are definitely a couple things, and those are like what I
want to go to Scotland.
I want to do. That
I really want to go to Scotland.
I've heard.
Can we go to the Rogue Invitational?
I heard that's a really good trip.
They're doing the Rogue Invitational in Scotland this year.
All right.
Let's go.
So we just keep adding to the list here. I got coffee this morning. I need coffee.
He's on the caffeine.
Sunday. I'm on the caffeine, baby.
We needed him to wake up. We were going to start earlier, but we needed some caffeine.
Yeah. Are there emojis that you hate?
You just dove right into it. Okay, so there's this thing that most people that know me well know that I absolutely cannot stand. This. And every once in a while, Clay will get lazy and he'll send me one. And I get all over him.
You mean this?
So this was a gift from one of our coaches who just recently moved to Lexington.
Yeah.
And she went on a little trip beforehand and she said, I have a present for you. And she brought it back in a bag and it was wrapped up. And I thought, what on earth did she get me? And I could tell it was ceramic. And then I opened it and it was this.
Yeah.
So it just sits on the desk. I personally think that when you give somebody the thumbs up, it's more like you're giving them the middle finger.
Yeah.
So
that's what we talk about.
Like it's banned.
Yeah.
It's banned in text conversations. So if somebody sends a thumbs up, it's really meaning like we're gonna fight.
Yeah, whatever. It's like, yeah, whatever.
It's not even a whatever though. That's definitely.
I know, but a lot of times
that's fighting.
If you send all this stuff, like it's this long text and these details and stuff like that, and then somebody goes, "Really?"
Oh, just in general.
Yeah,
that's
your response.
Your response is a thumbs up. Like,
that's what I got out of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
So now, so please don't send thumbs up because I'll get angry.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Fighting. I'll do it sometimes.
He just wants to fight anyway. It has nothing to do. It makes me so mad. I like throwing shoes and the phone and.
Mm-hmm. All right. What are we talking about?
There's several things that have been going on in the CrossFit world
right
now. Do you want to talk about the World Fitness Project versus the games tickets? This is like a big thing in the CrossFit world.
I don't care. What do you mean?
He just gave that a thumbs up.
Yeah. What do you mean? Like, talk about
like there's like controversy. You know, like all the people that are doing like this versus this, but what you just said actually is a perfect segue into the real stuff. Yeah. You said, I don't care. Because although we have fun and the CrossFit Games are fun and competing is fun, the focus of everything that we do is our members and the affiliates. And that's really where the heart of CrossFit is.
It's different.
It is. It's very different. One is a sport and one is fitness and health for longevity.
elaborate. I was looking for that big word.
Oh,
Big brain on
it's
Bruce.
here we go.
Because when you said, "Did you check to make sure that shit is on?"
Oh no.
You better do that.
You usually do. You're the checker, not me. It's been going for 5 minutes and 27 seconds.
Girl, you are lucky.
I am not lucky.
Because you say stuff like the World Fitness, the games,
Yeah.
and all that, but you say controversy.
Uh-huh.
And I don't pay attention to that.
Exactly, because our focus is what?
Here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so what I was trying to say, what's different is you compete.
Yes, but that's a sport.
It's a sport. Uh-huh. So we said this on our previous podcast, have a coach.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Jason Grubb.
Yeah.
5 times games champ, going for 6. Mm-hmm. And we do the elite training programming that he does. So we have a coach because we talked about it. Everybody needs a coach. Right?
Well, you need absolutely. And if you're flying blind, and you did fly blind for a while, but you did have some coaching. You had a powerlifting coach. You had some private programming right at first.
If you go way back, me and Christian Haynes were together.
Yep.
He did a really good job for me. Followed Mayhem Athlete for a long time.
So coach-ish with me, but you would go work out with Rich and stuff like that.
I had a powerlifting coach.
Yeah.
So I've done that kind of stuff, but it was never like consistent after that. And so I would get to a point, and then so I'm at a point now. I was like, hey, am I going to continue to do it? Yeah. So if I'm going to do it,
you need to do it right.
I want to up my game and have an opportunity to have the best person on the floor.
Did I tell you that that we had put out some media about, we were doing some cleans. It was just another reel that we put out, and they Boulder Athletes sent me. They were not tagged in any of that, and they sent me a long response about how to help improve my cleans. I was really impressed. I didn't ask for I hadn't asked for it because I know how busy they are, but I was like, dang, like that's impressive. Like that you're paying attention, and B, you care enough to go through. And I'm talking about a lengthy, hey, I want to help you out. I was really impressed.
Yeah. Well, same thing when I was doing those box jumps. Jason sent me a message, said that what I was doing was efficient, but I was spinning the same direction, which in time doing a lot can get you a little dizzy and discombobulated. So he wants me to practice.
Yeah, we'll just have to change that footing.
Yeah, every other side. So I'm going to do that. So it's little things like that. But I don't want to get into just being about me. But what I'm trying to say is the difference of...
He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to get at.
But I was saying the difference of the pound, high intensity, high volume of CrossFit training, if you want to compete at the highest level,
you got to do some stuff.
Is necessary.
Yeah, you got to.
What we're leading into, where I think most gyms, CrossFit gyms, make a mistake, and where I think that we're different,
very much so,
is that we do have some of that high intensity CrossFit, but it's broken up. It's not consistent pound, 6 days a week. It's coupled with some strength training days and some hybrid high rock style endurance.
And really what high rocks just is, it just means this is a more endurance based workout. It's the current.
Yeah.
Like when we say hybrid athletes are as focused on endurance as they are on strength. Yeah,
because we see, some people in the CrossFit space are doing high rocks, and when I do that, we are a high rocks affiliate. We pay the money to do that, and we want to try to grow if people want to get better at it and come do it. But don't take it wrong when we say high rock. It's really like a hybrid. Like we've been doing this style of work before.
They just have a name for it.
Yeah, it's like a name. So like, for instance, running machines, sleds, cardiovascular carries.
Things that what's fun is that because everybody for the most part can do it.
Yeah.
There's not a high skill component. There's not high school gymnastics. There's not high school Olympic lifting. It's not things that people have to have. It's not a practice skill. It's true fitness.
Yeah. So for instance, when I say like a week, like Monday is a high intensity CrossFit, workout. You also have strength on that day.
Mhm.
That following Tuesday, though, is more of your high endurance,
Yeah.
hybrid style of workout.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, back to some CrossFit and strength. Thursday, back to your hybrid endurance. Friday, CrossFit. Saturday, team, which, it's usually a blend of lower weight, high rep endurance. And, there's a lot of reasons for this because we don't just pound.
You can't keep pounding 6 days a week. It doesn't work.
We want people to train for longevity. And if you do want to compete and you do want to do the
That's
the
cool.
CrossFit stuff, that's on you.
Yeah.
Is stuff gonna hurt? Is stuff gonna break?
If you're gonna be in, you have to remember that CrossFit as a competition is a sport. Sport is athletics. Athletics have athletic trainers for a reason. There's a DL in baseball for a reason. Things happen. But that's a choice. It's a choice, and it's a little bit different.
So we try to keep it separate. So like Boulder Athlete, we do the competitive stuff with Jason is here. And, Fortress is for us, like longevity for people, health and wellness, community. There are people inside of our gym that compete. We got some coming up here shortly.
There's actually some coming over today. There's it's on May 31st. It's what is it called? There's a competition in Nashville, and we have
615?
two groups. Maybe through that organization.
I don't remember.
We have two groups of 3 girls competing. Denise, Brennan, and Penny are on a team, and then Katie, Nicole, and Alice are also competing that day. On
some of our coaches. So
3 of our female coaches.
And support them, and if that's what they want to do, then
absolutely
we're behind that. But I'm just saying, not everybody wants to do that.
No, but that's okay. Like it's intimidating, especially if people have already been in athletics and sports their whole life. They're like, look, man, I'm coming in here to have some fun.
Yeah, let's be real. People want to look good naked.
They do. They really do. They used to say that.
Yeah.
There were 2 things when we started CrossFit that I heard over and over again, and the first one was, our warm up is your workout, and it's kind of true. And the other one was, everybody wants to look good naked, and those 2 things have never changed.
And so this leads me into some down pitfalls that I see. Like, so we have people come into our gym, and and sometimes they're secretive, or like, hey, I've been at other gyms, and
we don't know where, but it's somewhere else.
And I don't really want to get into that, because listen, I support other gyms. I want them to do well, but my question for them would be like, okay, great, what are your goals? What did you not like about that, and what are you looking to do? Because I hear a lot of people say, it's just pound. And so what's the unfortunate part is if you have people inside of your gym and they're silent, and you don't really know what's going on. So we have multiple classes a day. I work a lot. You work a lot. We have coaches. So people do different times of life. So I'm not always present with certain people, like in the afternoons and things like that. And so we try to put these things out on the podcast. So as a whole, people can understand. We also have a communication platform, on Facebook and on our app, our Fitter app, where we try to communicate a lot of things. But it's super important that we put this kind of stuff out while we program the way we do.
Yes.
What I really like about, and we hear it, people will come in, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just heavy CrossFit, pound, and my body hurts, as opposed to, we want to run more, we want some more endurance. So we like that balance, because, I think, I've heard it sometimes, but like running and endurance and all, it's so important. It's so important in CrossFit. Like even the competitions we've been to, there's high endurance.
Yeah.
So
there have been like even endurance specific events.
Yeah.
Like just all endurance.
Yeah.
Everyone that I've ever done has an endurance only event.
And one of the key things I think, for example, when you have a heavy, high intensity CrossFit day,
Mhm.
and then the following day you have more like an endurance hybrid
Mhm.
high rock style. What I like about that is we keep the weight on the lighter side, and
If there's any.
yeah, and it pushes your body. Endurance, it makes you better aerobically, but it flushes your body.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
And for sure.
I think those things are super important. We believe heavily in the strength, so we have classes that are only strength. Strength is super important. So I think that the elegant part of how
Did you just say elegant?
it is,
that's 2 E words. You said
yeah,
elaborate and elegant.
yeah,
It's Erin Day.
yeah, is how we layer these.
That's really the beauty of it, truly. And what you can ask any of our members, our Tuesday, Thursday classes, especially the Thursdays, are really structured in a way that for some people coming to the gym needs to be a very specific habit.
Mhm.
It's they show up at the same time every day because it's part of their routine. And when people get out of routine, they sometimes just fall off the cliff.
Yeah.
And so they want to show up even when they're sore, which is fine because like on a Thursday, we tailor that workout so that you can do it. You can either go after it or you can do it body weight style. You can do it slower. You do it as a flush activity, as an active recovery.
Yeah.
Just to keep you in the habit of, I'm still showing up to the gym because I know that when I take a day off for no reason,
Mhm.
that day off turns into 2 and 3, and then it's a week.
Yeah.
And then you're out of routine.
Yeah.
And so we do that on purpose so that our members don't have to feel like I can't go to the gym today because I'm sore,
Mhm.
and they're doing something I can't do.
Yeah.
And we do a great job of that.
Yeah, the other, like, so what you're saying too, though, like when people come in, we always make sure, hey, coach,
we check in.
yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
feeling this from that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, talk to me a little bit. Okay, well, instead of doing this, let's do that. So we're very big on scaling and modifying, but also if you have an RX workout, we label it as A. There's always a B option, and a lot of times there's a C option. We scale things down according to where people are,
or sideways.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's a credit to our coaching staff that when people they have something that doesn't feel right. Whether, we had one person banged his leg completely up, was at work and tried to jump on a table. Banged his leg, so he wasn't able to do some things when he came in here, but he still showed up because he trusts us enough that he knows that when he comes in, even if he can't do something that's listed, we're going to find something he can do instead, which is important.
And I know I keep saying it, like, listen, I'm pro CrossFit. We are, like,
yes, CrossFit methodology works, but
works.
you cannot do that heavy, high intensity day after day after day and think that your body's going to recover. There is no marathon runner on earth or 10K or 5K runner that would say that it's appropriate to go to the track every day and do 200-meter sprints as fast as you can 5 days a week.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And it's easy to see in the running world because the only way to vary workouts is through time domain and intensity, like how hard you're running. They use a lot of heart rate data. And in here, we think because we vary activities, I can just keep hammering it every day. Like, no, that's not how it works for longevity.
Yeah. And over time, if you're not, what's the word I'm looking for? Adapt.
Yeah.
Because I think that, with
down.
any athlete or any business or any profession, you adapt, things change. It's no different than like football. Things change and evolve. Like, it's kind of like a pass happy league, mobile quarterback, to where it used to be a stationary quarterback. They're just, you have to be smart.
Yeah.
And it's not.
As science comes out, we do adapt.
Yeah.
Because everything we're saying, this is all backed by exercise science and current research.
Yeah.
And
the other wild thing about, sometimes when people will come into the gym, like me and you will be working out and we're doing something different. If we're doing our competitive training, we try to knock that out, but also like double sessions or session B or, like a PM session, or if we have to mash it up because we're short on time. Like, we do a lot of stuff before we program it, because we want to know the cause and effect.
Yeah.
Is this going to work for the class?
That's a big thing. It's
What
like,
do we need to change up?
Yeah.
So we're always thinking about Fortress, how we're programming. It's super important to us. It's not just a blanket, like just throwing shit out there.
No.
You know, it's tested, it's done. You know, we live, eat, and breathe this. And as we evolve, we think we've put it into a program that really works for our community. And I think a lot of people are seeing that. And I keep my ear to the ground because I hear a lot of stuff about gyms and their pitfalls and what they're lacking.
Yeah.
You know, so
I hear a lot too that people, like some of them are not doing any kind of strength training. And I'm not talking about heavy power cleans and snatches. We're talking about like actual like muscle building like work. And the part that people love, our strength classes are some of our most popular classes. And the reason is because when people go to a big box gym where everybody's got their headphones on, you almost don't even know what to do unless you get a like you're getting a personal trainer. Well, our strength classes are basically like having someone doing a directed lifting class. So you don't have to make decisions. You don't even have to really pay. Like you just have to do what you're told, and you're getting a great workout that's programmed so that you get stronger for the things that are functional in life.
Yeah, let's be honest. So like if you just came and did strength classes and then the high endurance classes,
you could do no CrossFit, like none of our CrossFit labeled classes. And if you came to our 3 strength classes a week, and then you did like a Tuesday or a Thursday, and you came Saturday and had some fun with your friends, it would honestly be perfect, I think, for about 98% of the population.
Of course. You know,
just straight up.
And then you have your diehard CrossFit that want to do CrossFit.
Yes, exactly.
Pick your poison. Yeah. Like functional fitness.
If I wasn't competing, that's actually probably what I would do.
100%.
Like I would just like literally follow that schedule. I might actually come to the gym. I would actually probably come Monday through Saturday. I would take our Thursday workouts and turn them into slow, active zone 2 recovery style, but hanging out with my friends because it's fun. And then take Sundays off. Yeah. I would do exactly that. And, you know, even some of the points that we tell our members that are doing CrossFit that, you know, people can scale the weights and make them lighter. You shorten the reps and things of that nature, you know, because it's really, listen, you can just do, let's flip the script. You could just do CrossFit. Yeah. And make the weights moderate, you know, and be very functional and fit because it's proven and it works. It does. Like it just does. Like it there's no debate on that whatsoever. We're not talking about walking on your hands or swinging around on the ring. Those are fun things, but they're not required. Yeah, we're talking about, you know, burpees. We're talking about machines. We're talking about power cleans. You know. Do you think it's controversial to say that you think that everybody should be able to do a pull-up? Because I think everybody should. I think you should be able to pull your body weight. That's a whole... Is that a whole other podcast? It is, but listen, if you can't, but that's the thing. It's like you should be able to do people are trying to progress and do things down the road when they need to scale all the way back. You need to go all the way back. Yeah. Yeah. And we need to do a proper ring row. We need to be in the strength class doing bent over rows, barbells, single arm dumbbell bent over rows. These are the things. Yes, you need to be able to do a pull-up. But I'm not saying a kipping pull-up. I'm talking about a strict. I'm talking about a strict pull-up. Yeah. Yeah. Body weight. Like 100%. You need to be able to pull your body weight, and you need to be able to, like, there's no reason you should be trying to do like handstand push-ups and like flopping around on the bar if you're not doing strict pull-ups and good push-ups. A handstand push-up is a high level, high skill. You're gonna hurt yourself. Form of a push-up. You know what I mean? You need to have a great air squat. Oh my God, that's a whole other conversation. You need to be able to do a proper push-up. Yep. And you need to be able to do strict pull-ups. Yeah. Those are the 3 bases of what you need to master. And if you don't have those, we got to back it up. You've got to scale down and start with C or B when we're doing options. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, that's a whole nother. That's a whole other thing. But we encourage those things, and we encourage people to scale and modify, even our high level athletes and even our coaches and competitors and everybody else. If you need to back up and work on something, whether it's because something hurts or because you have a mobility challenge of some sort, we are constantly, we are not the RX or die place. No. We are for sure the one that's going, no, let's work on this one. Let's perfect it first. We're like the Karate Kid gym.
If you want to get to that, I want to progress you to that.
Absolutely.
But we're not afraid or scared to back people down and say, no, you've got to do this.
Yeah.
You know,
they don't always love it in the front end.
No.
But every time.
Sometimes it's a kick in the shorts.
Because it's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. You got to back it up.
But we're trying to train you properly, to get you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
So the other thing is like, I do see a lot of comments and I see stuff like that, but I think it's just hilarious because, you'll see all kinds, you say controversy, you'll see all stuff about, CrossFit and people bashing on it. The problem is well, like the good thing is like it works. And so when people are running their traps, their mouths about that kind of stuff, it's because it works and it's hard.
Oh, that's it. Mm-hmm. That's the part right there. Yeah. Because we're in such an air-conditioned culture. Mm-hmm. And when you come to a CrossFit gym, you really get a mirror. Yeah. And not that there are mirrors here, but you get a little look into your soul here. And that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
It's easier just to go somewhere where you're like, I think I'm good at stuff.
Yeah.
And to really try something that is difficult day after day.
Yeah.
Because and anybody will tell you this. Anybody if they have been in a CrossFit gym for longer than 3 months, they will tell you it never gets easier. You just get better.
Yeah.
Because it should be difficult. It should be hard. It should be challenging.
I read that something the other day where they said, Coach, does it get easier? No, it never gets easier. You just get better.
Yeah.
But as you get better, it still becomes very challenging. It becomes more difficult because you continue to reach.
It's like the Echo bike or the assault bike.
Yeah.
The Echo bike at high intensity, the Echo bike never gets easier.
Yeah.
Ever. You go faster on it.
Exactly.
But it's rough.
Well, I hammered this and I did these sprints and I was at these seconds each time and I felt good. Okay, well, great.
Now it's time to make it hard again.
Now it's time to shave some seconds. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? So, and let's just be honest. Like, I have conversations with people at work all the time, and they'll ask questions about the gym. We're like, oh yeah, I work out. Okay, what do you do? So the standard go into Gold's Gym and bench press and triceps and leg extensions and stuff like that. Whereas there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
We do that style of training in here, but we do it plus.
Exactly.
Right? Those people can't do it. And then a lot of people will start following me. Mm-hmm. And then, they'll come to me and they'll be like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Like what y'all do is insane. Like you guys really work out.
Uh-huh.
Like they just don't know that next level. But to me, it's not about, hey, look at me. It's about pushing people to heights that they never thought they could do. That's the bottom line. Uh-huh. Yep.
Guess who just started CrossFit?
Who?
For the first time. No, we've had this gym for 5 years, and we said like 2000. I know I've been doing this since 2010.
Yeah.
So it has been 15 years, and I have never gotten bored with this because we seldom do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like, love CrossFit. Why quit my 19-year teaching career? My little brother started CrossFit I think it was 2 weeks ago.
And he was bashing on it a while
back. Oh, he's been, yes. My little brother Andrew and I, we butt heads. He's a good guy. He in the military for a long time. Mm-hmm. Has had some things like has ankles repaired. Has had 2 bouts with cancer. Like he's a fighter for sure.
Yeah.
But all he's done is like powerlifting kind of stuff. Like he, bench press, deadlift, just the big lifts. Just go to a Gold's Gym and basically do some version of like a Wendler cycle. But he said, I'm just so bored.
Mm-hmm.
And he texted me out of the blue and said, I've decided to go to this CrossFit gym. And I mean, I was over the moon. I was like, he's going to get his ass kicked up, down, and sideways. I wish I could go with some popcorn.
Yeah.
And he has not taken a class yet.
Mm-hmm.
They have an introductory session, and he's definitely not real mobile. And the one thing he said is like, man, he's like, my mobility, he's like, it's not good. And I said, all right. Like, and so although he's very, very strong, I think he's strict press close to 200 pounds. Like he's a really strong guy. But getting those Olympic lifts, it's a whole different ball game. And so he's getting the opportunity that we don't have right now, which I'm always so jealous. When you are a beginner in CrossFit, it is the most exciting time period because everything is brand new and shiny.
Yeah.
And so as soon as he gets through his first class, I may put him on Zoom, man. Like yeah. I can't wait to hear about
That'll
this.
That'd be awesome. And that's cool. You did say something though. And it just reminds me, I think things they talk about in the certification, level 1, level 2, but they always use the term with CrossFit, virtuosity.
And I'm really thankful. Like what he's explained to me is that the head coach there that he's working with right now, is really adamant about that and making him slow down, back up. Yeah. He was going into real specifics. He's like, he put me on a pull-up bar. He's like, I don't know how to use my lats at all.
That's what I try to tell people at work, when I was having those conversations about what we do. And I'm like, I'm like, that's good, man. So it looked like you're lifting, you're strong.
You're starting to do some stuff.
But you can't run down the street.
That's a problem.
Like functional fitness, virtuosity, not being good at one thing, being good at everything.
Being really good at the basics.
But it transforms over into daily life.
Yeah.
I see people at work, man, they can't, trying to bend over and tie their shoes or pick something up, or you move or you grab something. You're working in the yard. Penny's funny. She's always posting stuff like,
oh yeah,
and I love those types of things. Like, when I see
I don't have to have somebody help me when I go get a bag of mulch.
Yeah. Who's unloading this shit? Me? Bam. You know what I mean? So it's such a deep rooted subject. And I mean, that's just what Fortress is all about. Pushing you to heights you never knew you could do, making sure you're healthy, making sure you got longevity, you can do stuff yourself. I mean, it's just powerful. And I'll, lead back to all the controversy and all them shit and all them internet heroes, all them people chirping. Yeah. It's because it works. Oh, yeah. And you're afraid to do hard shit.
Yep.
Okay. It's hilarious. I just get a kick out of it. But I just keep on trucking, baby.
I got one thing to end on.
What?
I read something yesterday about how everybody needs a third place.
Third place.
A third place. I would say third and fourth, depending on, like your personal values and whether or not, you have a church that you go to. So we're going to exclude the church for just a minute.
Okay.
But everybody needs a third place. So you got your house. Okay. Your home with your
family. Okay.
You've got your work. Okay?
Career. Yep.
You need a third place, a place that you go that help with your health, your mind, your spirit, all of it. Yeah. And for a lot of people, a CrossFit gym specifically, not a Gold's Gym, not a Planet Fitness, not those places where the headphones are. Yeah. But we are that third place. And when I read about that, it really, it just hit home as how important what we're doing here in this place is. Yeah. Because for a lot of people, we are their third place. Yeah. And if they don't have a church family that they're really into, this really does become that place where they get positive interactions. They're surrounded by people who care about their health. They care about them emotionally and spiritually and physically, and why we've poured so much of ourselves into this place.
That's what it is.
Because we are their third place.
It's a family.
Exactly.
It's Fortress. Fitness.
Yes.
Right? And I see what you're saying. I would go as far as a fourth place, whatever you believe in.
Like I said, a fourth,
like church, spiritual, that kind of thing. But it helps me reset. We like to go to, World Outreach. I probably need to be better at that. I'm spotty. But when I do, I feel really good. But I think all of those things go together. I talk about that when I have meetings at work. And I try to be very careful. We all know that everybody has different views.
Of course.
I have Muslim people at work, listen, you got Democrats, Republicans.
Mhm.
You got all kinds of spreads of life, and all I care about is treating people the way I think people should be treated, and I want it reciprocated. So I'm very cautious about,
of course,
how I speak, but I say that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's a triangle for me:
Mhm.
family,
Mhm.
career,
Mhm.
fitness.
Mhm.
You can insert the church, but I think in that triangle, when you have those things humming and you're focused on all those things, I think it really allows you to have the best person standing
Absolutely.
right there where you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, sometimes I'm slow when I think, because I envision that.
Mhm.
I envision those things in little circles, like a triangle, family, career, fitness, health, wellness, and inside of all of that, I think that things really start humming when you hone into those things, and it's super important.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
That's a deep subject. Sorry,
Yes,
I kind of.
You didn't hijack it. You're good.
I know.
I'm just saying, like, we just feel like this is that important.
Yeah.
Because we know how it affects other people.
It's an intricate part of our life. And quite honestly, like, it's people's happy place, because careers are tough. Family is tough. Children.
For adults, this is almost like their playground.
The playground. And you get fit and you stay healthy so you can be the best version in your home, in your family, the best version in your career, in your work. It's super important. So,
speaking of, for all of our members who don't know this, with your community, there is a huge get together coming up the Friday before Murph.
Oh.
Because one of our members, that is Dawn, who is
Buford.
Dawn Buford, they put up the building.
God bless them. They own the building.
They own the building and all the land.
Yeah.
Dawn is retiring from her very long teaching career and has invited the entire gym over to the barn. You'll see all the teachers from Rutherford County she's ever taught with, but also the whole gym, which is really something special, that she feels like this has also become one of her places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are out there watching, and we got people. This is a growing area. I get leads all the time. If you're scared, if you're nervous,
just show up. We're
just show up.
Of you.
Make that change. I tell people all the time, well, what do I need to do? Or this is my experience.
Walk in the door.
You don't have to do anything.
Walk in the door.
Walk through the doors.
That's it.
We got you. And if you're not local in the area, go find a CrossFit gym. It'll change your life.
Yeah. What else you got?
What else you got?
I've had a lot of things today. I don't know. No, we're not doing thumbs up.
I need one.
I don't know if they make those. I'll ask Kaylee to look in Lexington.
Yeah. If y'all can find one, let me know where it's at. I'm going to get it. And I'm going to leave with.
No, you're not. Let's go!
That was kind of aggressive.
Sometimes I am aggressive.
I'll let the captain have that one.
Master.
The chief.
Master chief.
We're out. Turn that shit off.
No, you go turn that shit off. Yeah, you did. I'm the one that checked it. You got to turn it off. I checked it. You turn it off.
Cut. It's over. Turn that shit off.
No, you do it.
I'll turn the microphone off.
That's fine.
They can't hear
I checked
anything.
to see if it was on. It's your turn.
Yeah.
You got to go do it.
I'm out of here.
It's 50-50.
Done with y'all.
Okay, bye. Okay, bye.